Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and welcome. And this is Rogue. And I'm in a different room. And I hope you can, it's much darker in this room. We'll get into that in a minute. Come on, Rogue, go lie down. Okay, all right. So I'm here to talk to you about what I've been doing this week, which is mostly cross stitch, but also crochet. And I'm going to adjust the camera. So my son decided to restage the house. So he moved all of the furniture that was in the room I was in into this room, which is much darker. And the first few days I was like, I can't see. And he said, well, go sit in this other chair. I need to be comfortable in order to stitch. And I just cannot get comfortable in that chair because I would have to sit up straight. And yes, I know that's better for my body, but anyway, my sister Naomi lent me this, which is very helpful. And I have one that's similar, and it is in storage. So, yeah. But this has been a godsend. So I've been able to get some stitching done with it. And it's not as if my hair isn't messy enough without doing that, but I have developed these cowlicks, and they drive me nuts. So, yeah. So there is that. In spite of that, I have a finish. This is my cross-stitch camp piece for June, Blue Moon Garden by Carriage House Samplings, because I do stitch mostly at night. The challenge was stitch something that represents whether you stitch during the day or during the night. And I stitch mostly at night because I'm doing stuff, during the day usually. I run errands or I go shopping for groceries or whatever, and then appointments, all that stuff. And so I can only, in the late afternoon or evening, that's when I stitch. Except for this week when I am not teaching a class, so I will get some daytime stitching done. But to that end, ta-da, finished it, yay. I have to say that not all the stitches are something that I'm particularly proud of, because I was really struggling until my sister lent me that light to see even Ada. My son is going to buy a floor lamp that has stuff that stretches from it, and I think that'll help light up that side of the room so that this whole area isn't so dark. But until that happens, I'm very glad to borrow my sister's. Hank is, I don't know, licking something. Hank is here too, but he's still camera shy. He was sitting up to look at the camera, and then he said, no. And he's so heavy that I can't encourage him, so. All right. So there's also my temperature chart. I designed this chart onto the sea temperature chart, Three Sister Creative. And I just love the ocean, so I'm really enjoying this. But yeah, this doesn't even show how hot it's been. This whole week, last week, I'm not sure if I'm showing you. This last week, it was 108 all week long, except the first day, Saturday, that was 100 103, 104, I don't know. It was less. This is a different color. And then 108 all week. Yesterday, it was 115. It's not supposed to get that hot until the first week of July. So I shudder to think what July will be like. Hopefully, I have enough color. I think so. I planned ahead for it to be hot in July. I didn't plan for it to be up over 120, so we'll see. I think. I don't know. I know it can get really hot. One year I was here and it was over 125. So this is Sweet Wing Studio. I'm sorry, Goodness and Mercy by Sweet Wing Studio. I love the bird. I was going to turn it into a quail, but quail aren't blue. So I decided not to. And this is how far I've gotten. This is all the little, oops, that's backwards. This is all the little swirly pattern. Now you can see how messy my back is. Oh well. I didn't get very far on this because I was working on the cross stitch camp piece. I'm going to start concentrating on the next piece, which I will show you in a minute. And that I may actually finish, so if I do, I'll go back to this. I did a little bit more work on my sock. I want to work on the sock, but I'm enjoying the hamburger, and as I said, I want to have it for my sister. So I haven't worked on the sock as much as I have the hamburger. So, oh goodness. This is Hamburger Coasters by Dasha House. And it has you do the tomato last. So I have the lettuce, the onion, the cheese, and I finished the meat. So that looks nice and thick in there. And then let me take the yarn out of here. I stuffed the yarn in the center. I'm working on the bottom bun. So it'll be fat like the meat, maybe not quite as fat, I'm not sure, but yeah, that'll be fun. And then I'm going to work on the top bun next. I'm doing them in order that's in the thing, and then the tomato. Kind of want to do the tomato, but the tomato's got a lot of colors in it and it comes last in the pattern, so I'll just go in the direction that the pattern has. So I'm really pretty far along on the bottom bun. I just have to work the last few rows to close this. It doesn't lay flat, but neither did this one until I finished it. So anyway, I'm enjoying this. It's pretty fun. It's kind of hilarious to think of. So kind of excited about it. I keep the yarn in here. That would make a good top bun, wouldn't it? Except the top bun, I think they did it in order of how complicated it was. The top bun has far more rows here, but it also has this blended thing to make it look like it's got sesame seeds on it. I think this is a brilliant pattern. As I said, it's by Dasha House. My sister made us some crochet. I think they were crochet. They might have been knit. coasters, one thickness thick, and they're excellent because they absorb the sweat, but not so much that it's wet that it wets your table anyway. So I think these coasters are fun, and I think they're thicker, so they'll be good coasters for this climate. So yeah, I forgot to show you the thing for the sock pattern is Perfect Fit Crochet Socks by Olga Poltava. And because I look at so many crochet things on TikTok and on in other places, I get inundated now by crochet patterns. So I'm getting it, crochet patterns on this side, cross stitch patterns on this side, and I want them all. Now, there is a group that they get together and they make blankets, crochet blankets every so often. And they're working on a Christmas blanket, and it is so darn cute. And you just go buy the stuff and they show you what the pattern is for that day, right? And you, at your own leisure, do it, and you go back the next day to get the next pattern. And each row is a different, row isn't proper because some are wider, but the next section, you go back to get what colors and pattern is used for that row. And this one started with just a plain green, dark green, it's a Christmas blanket, a dark green row, and the next row was kind of cool. I don't remember that one specifically. And then there were trees with snow caps on them. And then the next one was candy canes. And I don't have to pay for that pattern. I can just go back over there every day and go look to see what the pattern is. But I don't have that kind of time to be doing, because, it's a blanket. But I want to save all of those so I can go back and do that later, just for fun. I'd have to go buy all the yarn. It's only like 6 colors, so it's not horribly expensive, but still, you probably need more than one skein of certain colors. I don't know. You wouldn't know until you run out of a color, but still, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do it. And I just love the tree row. And what I might do is do the bottom row, and then do the tree row and the candy cane row, and then do the bottom row again and make it a scarf. Not that I need scarves, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, they have a present row. Okay, it's not a row. It's a section, but it's more than one row. But fun, so much fun. And I've seen some patterns that I'm like, yeah, I gotta buy that, but not today. Not today, not yet. Okay, so I finished that cross stitch camp piece. So now I'm gonna do my new start, my Whip Go new start for this month, my second one, which is Silver Creek Samplers, A Sweet Memory. And it says, it seems like only yesterday that you were very small and left for me a memory of handprints on the wall. And then you can put their initials in here. Now, I adopted my son at 2.5, almost 3. I never had him where he played with this type of toy. He was already running faster than I could when I got him. So He didn't have any of the ducks that you pull behind you. And honestly, I never bought him any of these kinds of blocks. Does that make me a bad mother? I don't know. I just didn't. We did different things to learn ABCs and reading. Anyway, so I designed a different bottom for it, and I had it right here, and ouch. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I know that was longer because, louder because that's where I have the mic. I didn't mean, I was putting away stuff that I had taken out this morning. My son was in here watching TV. All of a sudden he wants to be awake at this hour. I don't get it. I don't want to show the pattern. Have a picture of it. Well, shoot. I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it here rather than waste time hunting for it when I don't know where exactly in there I stuck it. So while I was waiting for my son to get ready and go to work, I went ahead and started it. I did a bottom start. This is part of swim goggles. So it's going to be swim goggles and a blanket and the words "Save the Citizen." And I explained that game last week. If you want to hear about that game, go back and listen to last week's. But I didn't think about, so I changed this bottom. So the pattern that I had shown here would have, you see on that pattern just the tail end right here of the hand and the tail end of these words, so it comes pretty close here. I did not account for putting in the date, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put in the year. I do want to put it in, but I have to think about that. But I didn't account for the blocks up here, and I honestly, I could just make the blocks. I could just put the IT by itself, but that would make the IT kind of floating in space with no reason. So I may put the goggles again, just shaped differently up here with an I and a T in the thing of the goggles. I don't know. I could just put the blocks. Any ideas would be appreciated. But since I started on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and go up. So that isn't something I'm likely to encounter today. And I will work on this for one day. I'm hoping I can get, it looks like a lot, but I'm hoping I can get all or most of this done down here. So then I can work on thinking what I want to put there. When he was little with us, he played, when I was very young, my mother ordered from a gentleman at church a kitchen set. It was a little refrigerator, a stove, and an oven with stove on top, and a sink that had cabinets above it. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful set of furniture. The refrigerator, you could open the door and it had shelves inside. So we had little play kitchen stuff, cups and fruit and stuff like that we would play with. And the sink had a little bowl thing in it. My mom put a little tub in there, and we could actually fill it with water if we wanted to wash dishes. And my son played with that a lot when he was there as well. So I think they gave it away when my son got older, which is really sad. It would be really nice if we still had it. Not that we have room for it, but it would really be really nice if we still had it for his children. But times are different. Kids don't necessarily want to play with kitchens and stuff like that the same way that I did when I was little. Maybe they would. I don't know. Anyway, he played a lot with that. And he played ball. He loved running, and he loved water. And he loved our pets and his teddy bear. That's why I'm leaving the teddy bear. So I keep thinking, well, he didn't play with beach balls, so a beach ball wouldn't work. But he was in the pool right away within the week that I got him. So, and he took to it like a duck to water and started swimming better than I did. So, yeah, I have to think. Like I said, I think I'm of making it goggles on top too, but I don't know. Anyway, enough on that subject. And then the other pattern that I'm going to concentrate on this month is Winter Reindeer Dirty Annie's Southern Style. And I'm hoping to finish this. I'm not quite half done, but almost. But there is some mistake somewhere in here. And I'm going to go down with the pattern and this to see where the mistake is so that I can make the same mistake over here. I'm not going to frog it. And hopefully I can get them to end at the same place. I have thread all over the place back here. It's the same color as the reindeer. Their little red socks. Their hooves. It did not come with buttons. So when I'm done, I'm going to go, I don't know that I want to do white buttons. I might. But wouldn't it be kind of cute to have colored buttons that look like lights? I don't know. Ooh. So there are snowflakes, and they show up much better in person than they do on camera. I have this thread, this needle with this dark thread back here. I didn't carry dark threads like that behind here. But I love this. I love the style on the reindeer. They're so cute. And they came up with, I believe this year, recently, patterns. There's a pup cup with a little puppy sitting in a cup. And to go with that, there's Kit T-E-A, Kit T, with a little kitten in a cup. And I want to get both of those and stitch them both, you know, to go side by side. Wouldn't that be adorable? But I haven't even finished stitching or even started the OMG, they got me a tree that's a cat. Since I did the dog, Felice Naughty Dog, I did that. And I have the pattern and the fabric to do OMG, they got me a tree. It shouldn't take that long, but it's on my whip go for patterns to start this month. This year. So I need to finish that. So there's I don't have any business buying those two things, but it's so cute. Pup Cup and Kitty. I'm not going to get it. I'm not. There's a crochet pattern I might get. but I'm not going to get that. Anyway, I've been blathering on long enough. I know it's dark in here. Hopefully next time there'll be a light and so you can see me better. And that's all I have this time. I'm really sad that I didn't get further on the goodness and mercy. So I really hope I finish the other one quickly so I can go back to that one, because I didn't work on it all day, every day like I had planned. I didn't work on it as much as I should have. And I put aside all the other stuff that I was doing, the extraneous stuff that I've been doing since Market came out. I said, no, I'm going to finish that cross-stitch camp piece, and then I'm just really going to concentrate on the stuff I had planned to do this month in the first place. I really want to finish the big berry, but I'm not going to pick it up unless I have a lot more finished. And of course I'm spending a lot of time crocheting, because I just absolutely am having a ball making these hamburger coasters. So yeah. You know, I am forever grateful that my aunt and my grandmother taught me how to knit and crochet. One taught me to knit, one taught me to crochet, and I was so young, I don't remember who taught what, okay? My mother taught me how to sew when I was very young. These things give me such pleasure to do. And, you know, you can cross stitch. I learned how to cross stitch from a woman that I worked with in Florida. You can cross stitch or knit or crochet or do any of these things like this if you have mobility challenges, if you live alone and you're lonely. You know, you can do these things and they can bring you joy. So it doesn't hurt to learn a new craft. It doesn't hurt to go back to a craft you learned when you were really young. If you've gone down a cross-stitch rabbit hole, that doesn't mean that you can't do something else as well. And my first love is art. My first love is painting and drawing. And I can't do that right now, not in the same way that with my drafting table and all my stuff and everything. I have a drafting table that I bought when I was in art school, okay? And do I need a drafting table to paint? No, but everything that's on my drafting table is art related, and it's not a surface that I'm going to put my purse on or any of those things. It's art, and it can stay there and nobody's going to bother it. So I miss having it. And so I've really just jumped into what I can do. And yeah, I feel like I'm falling behind on some of my cross-stitch projects. And then I think, does it matter? Is the cross-stitch police going to come for me because I didn't finish Goodness and Mercy? No. I had in my mind I wanted to finish it, but I didn't, because I wanted to do the cross-stitch camp piece. And that's okay. And I have to tell myself, stop putting these arbitrary rules around yourself that you can only do this, or you can only do that, or you can only fit in this, or you can only fit in that. So I'm still going to be cross-stitching, but I'm also going to maybe do some more crochet stuff that's giving me joy right now. So do stuff that gives you joy. And I'll see you next week.